Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Well, it's summertime. It's been a very interesting summer, but today, rather than talk about all the crazy things that have been happening to you, the lawful and responsible gun owner, let's talk about an activity that we do a lot of here in Washington State during the summertime. Actually, people do it year-round, but summertime it definitely increases significantly, and that's getting out on two wheels, out on the highways, touring the state on your motorcycle. Yeah, Washington State has some fantastic places to go visit, and we see on weekends, and especially we see people all the time out riding around. But as we know, if there's one area where you're most likely going to come into some other type of confrontation that might require the use of lawful self-defense, unfortunately it is the roadways of Washington State. Road rage incidents are up through the ceiling, and for those of you out there on motorcycles, you are particularly vulnerable. That has many asking, what's the difference between the rules as it relates to carrying a firearm in a car versus carrying a firearm on a motorcycle? So today, let's spend a few minutes and talk about how to legally carry a firearm on your motorcycle in Washington State. Okay, before we get going down the road that we're going down today on two wheels, happy to announce that this video is being sponsored by my good friends at Security Gun Club. Security Gun Club in Woodinville is the nicest indoor facility you will find anywhere. I'm telling you, this is the Taj Mahal of indoor gun ranges. The only thing better than the facility, well, that's two things. Number one, their staff. They have absolutely the most polite and professional staff that you will ever meet, so please go by, stop in there and say hi. But the thing that really impresses me is their dedication to education. You see Jackson, the head of their training over there, former law enforcement guy himself, has put together an amazing curriculum that will cater to anybody of any skill level and any level of knowledge about firearms. Whether you're new to firearms or you've been around firearms your entire life, there are classes at Security Gun Club that will interest you and make you better. Ladies, you always looking for a more approachable way to get into firearms? I bet you are. Try the ladies only classes. They are some of the best in the business. Now listen, if you check them out at securitygunclub.com, no, that is not a misprint. That is security with an E. That's how they spell it. But listen, if you check it out and you like something you see over there, go ahead and use promo code WAGUNLAW. That is WAGUNLAW, all one word, and you will get yourself 10% off any class that you sign up for. So visit them again at securitygunclub.com. Okay, so the issue is for those of you bike riders out there that like to get out on the road on your bike, what are the rules for concealed carrying or carrying a firearm, okay? And there's a lot of confusion about this because a lot of people believe that somehow or another motorcycles give them a little bit more authority or create more obligations. And the truth of the matter is that RCW 9.41.050, for those of you who've been geeking out on this channel for a while, you know that is our concealed carry law. That is the law that says, hey, listen, you have to have a concealed carry permit, a recognized concealed pistol license in Washington State, if you want to do either one of these two activities. Number one, carry a firearm concealed on your person, or number two, carry a firearm loaded in a vehicle. Now, I know what we're going to be asking right away. Well, when I'm on my bike, am I in a vehicle? Well, I went back, I looked at the RCW. There is a definition of vehicle, and yes, without a question, without a doubt, a motorcycle constitutes a vehicle. Don't believe me? Do you think you can get a DUI on a motorcycle? You most certainly can. That makes it a motor vehicle. Okay, let's start with those who open carry. Now, whatever your reason is for open carrying, and we can certainly, I've seen debates about whether that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. I'm not going to get into that. To each their own, all right? Everyone gets to live the life they want to live. But if you don't have a CPL, you don't want a CPL, you don't care to get a CPL, or candidly, you just like open carrying, you don't like concealed carrying, whatever your reason is, that is fine. Okay, but here's the thing you need to recognize. While you're walking around, you can open carry all you want. The minute you get onto your bike and you start up and you start heading down the road, and now we are in a vehicle, in this case on a vehicle, but we are in a vehicle. You see, that firearm needs to be unloaded now, because under 941.050, the only way you can carry a firearm loaded in a vehicle, and of course the only type of firearm it can be is a handgun, is only to those who have a valid concealed pistol license or an equivalent from the out of state that is recognized here in Washington. Absent having a recognized concealed pistol license, you cannot open carry that firearm loaded. Now, when you consider what it takes to actually unload the firearm, for that firearm to constitute it being unloaded, there's no reason to have it open carry. There's no reason to have it concealed carry. There's candidly no reason to have it with you unless you want to use it as a showpiece. Okay, now for those of you who do have a valid concealed pistol license, yes, you can carry that firearm loaded while you are underway on your bike. Whether you have it concealed on your person, you have it in your saddlebag, you have some kind of a holster or something like that, that is all legally possible. It can be carried loaded. You could have one in the chamber, however you prefer to carry it. Now, the question comes, well, I have an external holster that's on the side of my saddlebag, I keep it there. Is that an unlawful display of a firearm as what would be unlawful under 941-270? An excellent question. Let's remember that display is an intentional act with the intent of showing it off to somebody, and we have to do it with the intent to threaten or intimidate another person or in a manner which warrants the alarm for the safety of others. So if you're just cruising down the freeway on your motorcycle and there happens to be an external holster and maybe they can see the handle extruding from it, might they get a call to law enforcement about you? It is certainly possible. Are you engaged in the unlawful act of displaying a weapon? No, you are not. That is not meant to threaten, intimidate, should not warrant the alarm for safety of any other person, and therefore it's not a 941-270 violation. Also remember that if you are permitted to carry the firearm loaded while you're underway on your motorcycle, 941-050 makes it very clear that the firearm either needs to be on your person at all times, you need to be on the bike at all times where the firearm is there, or if you leave the firearm unattended on the bike, it has to be locked, secured, and concealed from view to the outside world. So is it possible that you could lock it in a secure saddlebag or something like that? Yes, it is. But if your bike does not have the ability to do it, no, you're not going to leave that firearm with the motorcycle. Now remember, if you are found in violation of RCW 9.41.050, that is, you are carrying concealed without a license, or you're carrying loaded in an automobile without a license, that subjects you to criminal liability. It is a simple misdemeanor in Washington State, which means it's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. But the bottom line is, if you are a bike rider, if you like to get out on the highway on your motorcycle, yes, you have the right to carry a firearm, but those rights are no different and the obligations are no different whether you're on 2 wheels or 4. So any of the videos that we've done, such as this one or this one, would also apply to those on motorcycles. Listen, you may have more questions about this issue or anything else related to your Second Amendment rights, and if you do, don't ever hesitate to contact us at WashingtonGunLaw.com, or of course you can call us directly at 425-765-0487. Now let's remember, part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here at Washington Gun Law, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe.